let's hunt down a beautiful unit.
Go get you a pressure washer.
3,600 PSI, a little overkill. Honestly, I really don't care about brand.
This is everything that they have, so.
That's fine. I'll just get a Ryobi then. My issue was I got the not powerful enough Ryobi. I got like one of those little units, but like even their small one does enough for what I need it for.
So what are you? Yeah, I know you said you're looking at one.
Detailing and stuff.
What type of specs are you looking for yours?
Over 1,100.
Okay.
No GPM requirements, but over 1,100 PSI. But beyond that, I think like 19, like they have the 1,900 PSI and then they have the 2K. The only issue is I want it to connect to our hoses and stuff. And I mean, it will with our adapters, but
So it's got to be at least 1.4 though. That's the
yeah,
problem with all these Ryobi ones is they're only
not
1.2.
Yeah.
And that's not optimal for those.
No, for the foams.
Foam, yeah.
I mean, they have their foam cannon. Competitors.
I actually have this one, and it actually works pretty well with my Simpson pressure washer. Did not work good with my Sunjo.
I have not had to clean the floor yet, thankfully.
So, are you thinking gas or electric? I guess. What are your
Electric? I'm thinking electric.
Electric. Okay.
Easier that way.
I don't think any of these are going to do it.
No, nothing over 1.4 unless we go with a 3,300 PSI unit.
Then you're talking gas.
And then you're talking gas for a hefty sum.
Yeah, that's... All right. Next location?
Next location. Hey everybody, Lucas with Veloci Performance. I am here today to walk you through getting your first pressure washer, setting it up, and getting started. So I went with this Sunjo pressure washer right here. It's gonna do 2,000 PSI and 1.7 GPM. And there's a few reasons I picked that. For one, our foam cannon's minimum PSI is 1,100, and so I wanted something I could use that with. And then I also wanted something just about 2 gallons per minute, just to have a nice flow. I'm gonna be using this mostly for detailing. And so when you're looking at your setup, it's really gonna come down to what you need. And I also, I went electric instead of gas because I don't have as much space in my garage. So I picked this one. We went to our local hardware store. They did not have it on the shelf, unfortunately, but they did have it online. So that was nice. And I just really wanted something I could detail my car with. I didn't need it for too much else. I'm not gonna be cleaning my house with it. You could, but I won't be. If you're gonna be looking at something like that, you might want higher PSI, more GPM, then you're gonna start getting to the gas units. But what I was really looking for was just something affordable to get started, something I could clean my car with, bring it out on a Saturday, get everything washed, wiped down and ready, and then store it, no maintenance, nothing like that. And then what I have here is my starter kit that I set up. So I have an SG28 with some stainless quick connects. I have a 50-foot wrapped gray hose with some stainless quick connects as well. And I did already put these on, so this didn't come installed. You can get it installed. I opted to just do it myself. I did 4 or 5 wraps Teflon tape on this, and then I got this set up. Then I also have my M22 fittings. So there's gonna be a little bit of a nuance here. So this one's 14 millimeters and this one is 15 millimeters. And so I'll get into that a little bit later, but you'll have to figure out which size is right for you because every pressure washing company uses a different measurement. And then I also have my Teflon tape to wrap all these, and then I'm gonna have to, of course, reinstall these fittings because I did not put Teflon on these. But just wanted you guys to get an idea of the complete kit that I have set up here for my detailing setup. I do also have a foam cannon I'm gonna be using and some entry-level nozzles. And I can walk you through how to use that. We have a nice nozzle calculator on our website, and that's gonna figure out what orifice size you need for your pressure washer. Since this is electric, it's gonna be lower PSI, lower GPM, so you're gonna have a smaller orifice size to maximize your PSI and your GPM. And if you're not familiar, you're just getting started, PSI is gonna be how much pressure, gallons per minute is gonna be how much water is flowing out GPM. And it's a balance. The more GPM, typically the less PSI, and the more PSI, typically the less GPM. It's an inverse relationship typically. So I have here my vice grips, and that is how I installed these, and it's also how I'm gonna be installing these quick connects as well. I also have my caliper. You don't need a caliper. We just have one. You can use a ruler. It just has to be fairly close. If it's above 15, it's a 15. If it's below 15 by a significant margin, it'll be a 14 millimeter for these fittings. So, I should probably get it open. All right, so get it opened up. Got the unit itself here with the plug. I got, this is for chemical injection. I personally won't be using this, but could be helpful. I'm not even going to bother setting this up. I'm just gonna put the handle on for use. And then I also get my fittings and looks like a holder for my gun as well. And of course, the gun and the hose. Sweet. For more entry-level unit that I decided to go with, they give you a lot of stuff to get you started, which is super nice. First things first, le fittings. All right. So before I put this on, important to note, I did put Teflon tape on these fittings, and I'm going to be putting them on these. I will not be putting them on this. And that is because M22 fittings have an O-ring inside, which is going to create the seal, which is essentially what you're trying to mimic with the Teflon tape. So I won't be using Teflon tape on this. You don't need it for M22 fittings. So I'm going to be measuring the inside diameter here to figure out which M22 fitting I need to use. Turn my caliper on. It's a 14. Perfect. If I push this all the way tight, it's just about 14. We're going to account for some caliper degradation. I'm going to use this one. But if I would have seen a 15, would have measured this one, would have told me it was closer to 15. But this is the one. So I'll get this installed. And the reason I'm putting these on is so that my setup is quick connect ready, because with this coupler here and this plug, what that's gonna allow us to do is just quickly connect and disconnect from my unit, and that's gonna make for easy storage. Like I said, I don't have a lot of space in my house, so I wanted something compact, and the quick connects is really gonna help with the build up and tear down process. So we got that on there. It's gonna be for the inlet right here, on off switch, sweet. All right. I also refuse to read instructions manuals. All right, these notches slide in here. Come here. Maybe. There we go. Perfect. Somewhat. Don't worry, I'm getting there. First try. This knob here, if you're going to use this setup, this is for chemical injection. This is going to determine how much chemical is being injected into your stream. This is very, very similar to what we have in our foam cannon, and the foam cannon is essentially just a more compact chemical injection system that you don't have to run through your line. Big difference as well is going to be the filter in the foam cannon, which is going to cause that foam. So similar setup, important to note. So now you can see here, it's just going to connect right here. Perfect. Now, this is going to be what you're going to do essentially every time you use it, unless you want to leave it hooked up, which is an option if you have more space. I just don't, unfortunately. So, ready there. Now we'll assume I did put Teflon tape on. Boom, plug it in, get the water hooked up. You're ready to go. Took me a little more time than it should have, but we made it. So this is the SG28, 4,000 PSI, 12 gallons per minute and 320 degrees Fahrenheit. I went with this one because this is gonna be more affordable. This is more of the starter side. We also have the SGS, which is gonna be stainless fittings and a swivel. This one has a brass swivel on it. I opted for the one with the swivel because it's really nice when you're moving around and your hose is gonna bunch up on you. Just makes life a little easier. That is one thing I would recommend not skimping on. It's gonna be having a swivel on your gun. If you're not using super harsh chemicals, you're not, really beating on it, brass is fine. Brass is gonna work. It works well. It's still corrosion resistant. Not as much as stainless steel, of course, but not super necessary for what I'm doing since I'm doing detailing. If you're gonna do a bunch of cars a day maybe, or it's something you're gonna look for to start like a business, I wouldn't skimp on that, but for the weekend warrior, the hobbyist, grass is fine. All right.